Judge, this is a case of Cassidy's.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Miss Cassidy, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
We were married for several years, and he adopted my son from my first marriage, which meant my first husband relinquished all rights. And he doesn't want to take care of the child anymore, now that we're divorced.
Okay, sir, is there a reason you don't want to take care of your son?
Well, he's not my son.
Well, yes, he is. You adopted him.
I thought I was in love with her. I just wanted to please her.
So you didn't really love the child at all, your son? Because he is your son, just so we're clear. You're not going to be able to say things like, it's not my child. You adopted this child legally. This is your child.
Well, he's not blood. He's her son. He's not my blood son. He's a redhead.
What does that have to do with anything? The color of his hair?
Kids.
What does the color of his hair have to do with
I
anything?
just always hated redheaded kids.
Okay. How did the two of you meet?
Well, I had been divorced several years, and
Okay, everyone. Get ready for a furious courtroom confrontation. The video opens with some dramatic music as Judge Vonda Bailey takes her seat, creating the mood for what promises to be a fierce legal dispute. Electric energy enters the room. Miss Cassidy was composed but obviously fired up. She lays everything out. Judge Vonda Bailey isn't buying it for a second. She reminds the entire courtroom that adoption isn't just symbolic. It's a binding legal responsibility that is every bit as real as biology. Her ex-husband voluntarily adopted her son from a previous marriage, but now that they're divorced, he's turning his back and refusing to provide for the child he once promised to raise as his own. The ex-husband then chimes in, and things quickly get out of hand. He tries to avoid responsibility by claiming that he's not my biological son, H. the Gasts. The drama is incredible, and believe me, we're just beginning.
Ma'am, I will give you your opportunity to speak in just a moment, okay? Go ahead, sir.
So my friends took me out to a club. I call them memory clinics. Took me out to a memory clinic for my birthday. And that's where I met her. And she strapped it to me. And I fell in love with her that night. And
You fell in love enough to adopt her son,
to marry her. Because I thought I was in love with her.
okay?
And so we got married, and she coaxed me into adopting her kid.
Okay, you
The
adopted
redheaded
your
one.
child,
Yeah.
and you're here today because she wants you to
Pay child support.
pay
for
child
that
support
kid.
and take care of your child.
He's more of a ballerina than he is a boy.
What do you mean by a ballerina?
I don't want that kid. He's
Sir, you adopted this child.
well. Let his own father adopt him back.
Wait a minute. His father terminated his rights, and you adopted this child.
Well, she can talk.
I'm not
somebody
about
else
to play this game with you, sir. Mr. Cassidy, we're not doing that today, okay? This is your child. You legally adopted the child, and you can be legally responsible for paying child support as well.
Well, his first dad gave up his rights. How come I can't give up my rights?
Well, you know what? We're not doing it today.
This is when the juicy part comes. The ex-husband confesses that he only adopted the child to appease Cassidy, rather than out of genuine concern for the child. And then, wait for it, he refers to the child as a ballerina and begins to gripe about the child's red hair. He's acting as though the child's hair color has anything to do with being a parent. People. Miss Cassidy even admits that she colored the child's hair in an attempt to help him be more understanding. Can you believe that the judge is clearly irritated? And to be honest, so are we? This man's justifications are quite flimsy, and it's obvious that he is more concerned with himself than the child's welfare.
No.
He don't fish.
Sir, Mr. Cassidy, how much money do you make a year?
Approximately 83.
83,000. And ma'am, now to you. What does this mean, farmer?
I'd rather not go into detail.
Okay. $83,000 a year. And sir, you said, how many other children do you have?
I have two.
Two. Okay. So you have 3 kids
They're
total.
not redheaded either.
Sir, the color of their hair should not affect whether or not you decide to be a father to those children versus your adopted son. You understand?
I understand.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as you understand. I have
Judge?
your gross. Yes, ma'am.
So I've dyed the little boy's hair now. So
What color is his hair now, ma'am?
His hair is the same color of his now.
And you all are aware that the color of this child's hair doesn't matter in terms of the financial responsibility, right?
I understand that, but he doesn't. So I'm just trying to make it to where he
I don't want
likes
to buy
his son.
tattoos for
You
the
know what?
rest
It
of
is
his life.
ridiculous. She even had to dye the child's hair to even make you receive any type of comfort, sir. That's ridiculous. Now, at $83,000 a year, I have your gross at $6,916.67.
Wow.
Who carries health insurance for this child?
I do.
How much is it for the child only?
$230 a month.
$230. Okay, sir, you're going to reimburse that to her monthly. Yes, you are. And your net comes out to $5,482.88.
Oh my. Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
What? Do we need to call an ambulance? You okay? Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe an ambulance might help me.
Okay. Well, right now I'm getting ready to help you with these numbers, okay?
Or a
Giving you
12
credit
gauge.
for the other children that you have. Your child support obligation is $808.72 plus the health insurance reimbursement of $230 a month. That makes your monthly obligation $1,038.72.
Okay, that's gonna.
Okay, and
Judge?
you can afford it. It's 83. You make 83,000.
After reviewing the ex-husband's $83,000 annual income, the judge determines his monthly child support of $88.75 plus $230 for health insurance. Naturally, the ex-husband is not happy with this and begins to complain about his farming overhead costs, as if that were some sort of justification for not providing for his child. When Miss Cassidy tries to get back pay, the judge says she can't because it wasn't on the paperwork. Things are made worse by the ex-husband's caustic remarks regarding farming and his costs. However, the court is not amenable to it and firmly tells him that regardless of his feelings, he is legally required to provide for the child.
For farming.
Well, you know
Wow.
what? Dye your hair red.
Well, that's not going to help me pay my bills. That's
It
not going to help
might.
me feed my cat.
Well, you know what? You might want to choose some different alternatives.
Well, you got to eat. That's what. Where do you think your food comes from?
You grow my food?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I pay for it from you, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Well, guess what? You're going to continue to grow your food and you're going to take care of this child who's now the hair is dyed because you had a problem with the color of the child's hair. Ridiculous. Is there anything further here?
Yes. The last year that he hasn't paid, can he pay the back pay as well?
You know what? That is a great question. Are you asking for back pay today now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, unfortunately, you did not put that in your paperwork that you filed with the court.
Just when you believe there is no more Wilder in this case. This segment ends with a mix of humor and frustration, leaving us shaking our heads at the sheer audacity of this guy. Miss Cassidy makes a hilarious suggestion that perhaps the ex-husband could avoid child support by remarrying her. The judge actually laughs at this one, but quickly clarifies that this isn't a reunification court. She dismisses the case and orders the ex-husband to pay up. But even with the ruling, his attitude is still dismissive and unapologetic.
I can't award it to you.
Okay.
So, monthly obligation. Listen,
Judge, there's another
you don't
option.
need all of that.
If he wants to come back and remarry me, we can do that. Then he won't have to worry about child support.
Well, I mean, that's an option.
I'm going back to my ex.
That's an option.
I've got my other wife and kids. They're coming back. We're back
I just
together.
thought as long as he was
okay.
going back and forth, you know.
Oh, well, I'm glad to see you.
No going back.
Well, I'm glad to see that you moved on, and I'm glad to see that you're open to that possibility. But unfortunately, this is not reunification court.
Maybe she
This is
should go
child
back to the
support
memory
court.
clinic and go to
So,
work.
well, guess what? If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Want to give that to your wife? Maybe she'll have you comb your hair.
The segment concludes on an instructive note, connecting the emotional drama of the case to its larger legal context. After watching this, you'll honestly never look at child support cases the same way again. Finally, attorney Vonda Bailey steps in to explain the legal implications of state-sponsored adoption under Texas law, emphasizing that adopting a child creates a lifelong responsibility even after divorce. Bailey encourages viewers to subscribe and share their stories, reminding us that these cases are about more than just legalities, but about the lives of the children.